Welcome to my channel. I know that, well, first of all, I would like to address the fact that I don't look like a busted, dusted, crusted mess. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, I decided that I am going to tell you guys about why I started my fitness journey, or how my whole process, or whatever you want to call it, has gone over the course of a year so far. Let's just get into it. I tried to come prepared. I wrote notes. I noticed that for the last 2 years, I had been losing a lot of hair, and it is honestly my biggest insecurity. I think it's my only insecurity. It's my biggest insecurity, and it just became this thing that I struggled with so badly, because I would just constantly beat myself up for it, and people would make comments about it and ask me questions about it, and I had no explanation as to why I was losing my hair. My mom and my two sisters have the most luscious thick hair, and it's crazy because it just made me feel so insecure. I did my digging, I did my research. I could not for the life of me figure out what was wrong. So I went on the internet, as we all do, and somehow stumbled across PCOS. And I was looking at the symptoms, and I noticed that I pretty much had almost all of them. I started losing hair, so hair loss, pretty bad acne, sleep apnea, which is when you sometimes stop breathing in your sleep, which has happened to me too frequently in the last 2 years, irregular periods, excessive hair growth in certain areas. I'm sure there are some other things that I'm forgetting. Insomnia, I think, is one of the symptoms as well. But the point is, I just saw too many similarities between the symptoms and myself. So I go to my doctor and I tell her that I think I have PCOS, and she tells me, she runs some tests and she told me that I do. So it kind of made me feel some type of way, because her answer to me when I asked what I could do about it was that the only thing I could do was lose weight. Me being almost 300 pounds, I have an addiction. I still have an addiction to pizza. I had not worked out in 4 years, and I didn't know where to start. So at the time, for I think the last couple months before I found out I had PCOS, I'd been watching Miss Remy Ashton, Miss Rum Life, and she had started going through her weight loss journey, I think a year prior to me, or maybe a little more than that. And I watched her go through it. I watched someone with a similar body type to mine go through this journey that people really struggle with, that I have struggled with. There's been so many times in my life where I've told myself, I'm going to go on a diet. I think the longest I've ever lasted was 3 weeks. She was my example. For months, I had been telling myself, one day I will, one day I will. Remy says, when it's right for you, you fully commit, and you do it when you're ready for yourself and no one else, nothing else except you. So I was told that the only thing I could do was change my lifestyle. And that's what I did. One day I was at work with one of my best friends, and she said, let's go to the gym. And, that night we went to the gym after work, and I have been going consistently ever since. So I started my journey in May of 2019, towards the end of it. And this was really new to me. And my body wasn't used to it, but I don't know what it is, but I knew it was for real. I knew I wasn't going to stop. And I started eating differently. I used to work 2 jobs, and I pretty much worked almost full-time at both jobs. So I was working a lot. So pretty much my day would start at 9 a.m. and end at 10 p.m. With morning traffic, it's an hour commute and then like at least 30 minutes on the way home. So I had a really long day every day and I was tired. I also wanted to maintain a social life. I also wanted to give myself time to just take care of myself. But, you know, I don't know. I pushed through. If I came home and I was exhausted, I just told myself, no, it takes 30 days to build a habit. You can do this for 30 days. Just do it and it will get easier. And I would come home so exhausted at like 10:30 or whenever the fork. And I just wanted to sleep. I would literally lay in my bed, set a timer, or I would just come in, change, and go because I knew that if I were to sit down, there's a chance I might not go. And I did not want to risk taking that chance. I did not want to do that to myself because I was so committed and so dedicated, or at least I was trying to be. For 30 days, I pushed myself. And I remember doing so well that I was surprised. And I remember getting closer to the end of those 30 days and it felt unreal to me that for the first time in my life, I set a goal related to fitness, related to weight loss, related to a health journey, whatever you want to call it. And I was doing it. Those 30 days were so detrimental to me looking back at it that it's crazy. And like, I'm proud of myself for it. And Tanny is a pessimist. I am a pessimist. I'm kind of mean to myself. So like, go me for saying something nice. Oh my God, what? Those 30 days were really real for me. And if there was a day where I felt like I couldn't do it, where I wouldn't make it, I would ask myself, what would Remy do? What would Remy do? What would Remy do? Remy wouldn't stop. Remy would keep going. And you might think this is cheesy. You might think I'm stupid. But guess what? I am cheesy. I'm the cheesiest of all sorts of cheese. And I'm okay with that. Because look at me now. I am 13 months into my journey. And I have gone so much farther than I ever thought I would. So if me saying cheesy things to myself got me 13 months in and got me results that I could have honestly never dreamed of, I'm fine with it. Judge me. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever.